Creatures of the night, let's talk about AEW Dynamite. We actually started off the show with our champion, Toni Storm, getting attacked by Mercedes Moné backstage while she's walking into the building with Luther. Luther is absolutely useless, so Mercedes gets her hands on him first and go ahead and beats up on Toni Storm, brings her out to the stage, and she's still putting a beat down on her and even hits her with the statement maker. Now, to be honest with you, I thought this was a really strong way to start off the show. She's saying she's a stupid bitch and if she wants to play games with her, she'll play them little games with her. It did take for Mina Shirakawa to come out to really get Mercedes to stop doing what she was doing to Toni Storm. So for me, while things are seeming so interesting with what's going on with Toni Storm and Mercedes Moné, I'm looking forward to it in terms of how the story's going to play out. We're still about 2 weeks away before, well, a little bit over 2 weeks away from All In, and I do feel like so far things are looking real strong with the girls. Now, well, just them two apparently. Now we do also have the Young Bucks. They're backstage and they're talking about how, later on tonight, William and our boy Shane Strickland's going to be teaming up together later on in the show. But since we're EVPs and we have our little magic powers, we'll make y'all come on right now. So here is William, who's coming out, who is fixing his shoes and tying his shoes, and he look a hot mess as usual, but he's not necessarily ready to get in the ring. He comes out there, then Swerve comes out there. He's walking towards the ring, putting on his shirt, and I said, baby, you're about to take that off. You actually don't need that. Take that off. They go against my boy Blake. Poor Blake. And Lee Johnson. At least they're getting a TV time going against a really, really great team. I thought that the teamwork with Swerve and William was really, really great. They look like, can I say legit tag team? Okay, maybe not legit tag team, but they definitely complement each other in the ring. One thing I kept noticing was that William kept hugging on Swerve. I'm like, okay, so he decided to tag with you, whatever, and y'all kind of friends, and you just can't keep your hands off of him. Whatever was going on with that. They looked really, really great together as a team. And yes, they end up taking the win. But I did feel like we had, really great stuff with Blake and Lee Johnson. It did take for the EVPs to come out during the match. So like they had their music playing and they came out. And with that distraction of William and Swerve kind of keeping their eyes out on the EVP, Blake was able to, kind of outshine them for a little bit, just for a little bit because of the distraction. But obviously things didn't go their way. Really great opening match here. And unfortunately, exactly what we've been praying not to happen, happened. Where, long story short, they end up announcing, Swerve was like, oh, well, we've been at it with y'all for like a year now. Tired of y'all abusing y'all powers as EVPs and all that shit. And it's going to be myself and William to go against y'all two. And I kept saying Collision, right? Collision on Thursday or Collision next week. Then it ended up announcing All In. I did not want this. A lot of people did not want this. Now, I know you're probably just like, well, what's the big deal? The big deal is if you think about where these two people were a year ago versus where they are right now, it's like they took a back seat to do the tag team thing. And sometimes I just feel like the company moves fast with a lot of people and then you just can't go anywhere else but down. And while it probably won't turn out to be a bad match, I was kind of hoping to see other things when it comes to Swerve and William. And because, they're doing what they're doing with Hangman and Jon Moxley, unfortunately, these guys are just, supporting actors in this whole thing and not leading guys like what we saw them for last year. So unfortunately, I don't care too much about that match going on at All In, but at least we have another match on the card. Now, after that, the young fucks, they're back there complaining about what happened. It says, Swerve, you put your hands on us, which honestly, I did not see Swerve actually touch them. Swerve went for a swerve stomp onto the EVPs, but the use of security guards, they the one that got dropped instead. So I don't think he actually landed on the other two. But they're complaining about it backstage. And then here comes Okada, then Takeshita, then Roppongi Vice. They come on out there, and they're talking to what's his name, Trent Beretta, who's supposed to be going against Kota Ibushi. Basically, Trent's like, look, I'm gonna take care of Ibushi and everything, and whatever the fuck he was talking about. And I was just like, I don't think that's how that's gonna play out. Now, what was important here is fuck all that. When everybody started leaving, and then all of a sudden, it's only Takeshita and Okada standing there. And then everybody, you could hear all the noise from the crowd and everything. I was like, this is what we want. This is actually what we wanted for All In, to be honest with you. Now, they're staring at each other, and then Takeshita said, oh, just know this is temporary. Yeah, he said it in English. He said, this is temporary. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you didn't have to, bring out the little English It would have been cool for them to, say things in Japanese, but then again, we was going to need a translator anyway. And then I don't know what Okada said. He said something in Japanese and just shrugged him off or whatever. And I was just like, okay, it's going to happen at some point. Or maybe they're just teasing us and saying, hey, if you want to see Takeshita go against Okada, next year All In will be in the UK. I don't know. Up next, Trent Beretta going against Kota Ibushi. Bored. I just didn't feel the energy with the two of them. I don't know what it is. I didn't expect for Trent to win, but for me, I was kind of hoping for something more solid when it came to Kota. Kota, who had his last match back in 2023 at some point. When I tell you them ankles was just like cooked to the bone. And, he's taking some time to obviously heal himself, and he's back in the ring. I wasn't expecting something like high energy, but I was expecting something to not bore me to death. So I didn't really care for it. Obviously, Kota ends up winning. I'm hoping to see more of energy from Kota, because he's going to need it. Because after the match, here comes Okada, who comes out. And unfortunately, the crowd was quiet as fuck. Like, he comes out, they're in the ring, and at first I'm just like, wait, where are we that everybody's so quiet? Like, nobody's marking out about these two guys in the same ring together right now. And then after a while, then you start getting the holy shit chants coming in slowly but surely. And I was just like, okay, well, that's better. And before anything can happen physically, Okada's just like, nope, I have my nice new little suit on. I'm not in ring gear. I'm not just in a mood to be getting my hair messed up. So I'm just going to get out the ring. And obviously people are booing because nothing happened between them. Cool. Now after this, we have a promo from Jon Moxley about Hangman. And honestly, it's really the same shit that we've already heard before, just in different words. So honestly, I didn't really care. Now after this, though, AR Fox is doing his little interview, and Ricochet interrupts him and says, hey, why don't you and I get together and team up for tonight to go against Jet Speed, that's Speedball Mike Bailey, and the Jet Kevin Knight. And AR Fox looks like, no, I don't know about that. I don't want to hang out with your ass. But then again, he goes on to, I guess, accept it. And then we have our tag match, which is AR Fox teaming up with Ricochet to go against Jet Speed. This was a really great match, and for real, Ricochet and AR Fox, they have really great chemistry with each other. They actually, their styles are, they complement each other. So a team like that, I think, could work. However, Ricochet is arrogant and bald, and nobody likes him, which is great. So this is the reason why people are not going to trust him, because he can't necessarily just tag with people and kind of feel like everybody within the team has an input. He kept saying to AR Fox, like, oh, watch me. Look at what I'm doing. I'm going to show you how to get things done. So why did you need him if you was going to tell him that he couldn't do anything and that he needed to watch what you're doing? But he ends up leaving AR Fox high and dry in the middle of the match. And unfortunately, AR Fox had to finish the match for his team by losing. Now, look, This was a fun matchup, but obviously Ricochet doesn't need to be teaming up with anybody. I think what he's doing is just great enough. However, the only thing that I probably would not have done was him pretty much betraying AR Fox. Is this typical for a Ricochet to do? Absolutely. However, now he can't just go out there and looking for more people, because everybody's going to be like, well, you left AR Fox high and dry the week before. Why should we trust you? So at this point, honestly, he doesn't need to look for anyone to team up with. Now, after that win, Shabani Raggedy Ass come out to the stage and talking to Jet Speed about how, because they won like 2 matches together as a team, I think. Was it even 2 matches? Because they won like 2 little matches together, that makes them on a roll in terms of a tag team. And I guess that's good enough for them to go perhaps for the tag team championships. And here is Speedball and Kevin pretty much throwing their hats out there and saying, hey, Hurt Syndicate, we should be going against y'all because we're the best tag team in AEW. They're great, but I don't know about all that. Now, unfortunately, this wasn't a good thing for the Hurt Syndicate to hear, so they come on out there and beat the hell out of Jet Speed and even put their asses through a table. And Bobby, I don't know what she was wearing. Bobby black suit was the black version of that burgundy thing that he wore that one time that looked horrible. So, yeah, I guess that's his thing. Shelton looked great. MVP always looked good. MJF, oh my God, that man. Good looking man. Also looked great. They come on out there and basically said, look, we're looking for an actual tag team to go against, especially a team to go against with at All In. And if Jet Speed can wake their asses up and then be in one piece by All In, then sure, we'll go against their asses at All In. Now, I don't know if that's the route they're going to go ultimately, but for me, something about this group is just not sticking in terms of a team. They're great as a team, but I'm trying to find the words. They're over as hell, but they're just not doing it for me. I actually was hoping that they would come out and be part of the tag division and do something revolutionary with the damn tag division. I don't know. I guess I was wrong as fuck. So that hasn't really happened. But MJF has something to say. He talks about how he beat Mystico. Everybody was booing him out the building. And then he goes on to announce that he's going to be in a qualifier match next week to be part of the gauntlet match for All In. Now, while he's talking, Pastor Briscoe come on out there, interrupts him, and basically said, look, they told me backstage that y'all took too damn long and for me to get your asses out there because I'm up next in the qualifier match for the gauntlet match. So I'm just like, okay, all right, well, sure. And then he goes on to say and tell everybody fake news about Maxwell and how Maxwell has a kosher pickle dick that's really, really small and shit. And everyone else is chanting about his, kosher pickle dick or whatever. And honestly, if he wants to put the rumors to rest, MJF, give me a call and I will gladly debunk that for everyone. Now, I'm going to be honest, this whole thing, I'm a little bit bored. I was bored with this because I'm kind of like a little bit more into what we're doing with the tag division. But it just seems like with MJF and this group, they slightly always talk about them being a tag team and then we move on quickly to whatever MJF is doing. And I don't know how well that's going to work in the long run. They actually let Mark Briscoe just walk into the ring while they go to the back and don't even put a finger on him because this match is up next for the qualifier match for the #1 spot for the men's gauntlet match. So we had Mark Briscoe going against Roderick Strong, Bandito, and Takeshita. My pick was Takeshita. And honestly, the only person I feel like wouldn't even have a chance of winning or shouldn't win is Bandito because, he's doing his thing over there with the ROH World title in Ring of Honor. So why should we care about him being part of this? So Takeshita for me was my #1 pick. The match was great, and when it seemed like Takeshita possibly could win this, he didn't. My favorite spot in this match of the whole night actually was Bandito was gonna do a 21 plex onto Takeshita. Takeshita reverses that and even ends up catching on up to Mark Briscoe and giving both of them a German suplex at the same time. It was just so flawless. Like, everything Takesha does is flawless. But unfortunately, he doesn't end up taking the win. Mark Briscoe actually takes the win, which I was really surprised about. Roderick Strong, baby, we love you. We've been praying. And I just don't know what's going on when it comes to him. Kyle O'Reilly, baby, I don't even know where he's been for the past few weeks because he hasn't been around. So I hope he's okay as well. I do feel like just about everybody in this match will probably end up being in a damn gauntlet match anyway. But we'll end up seeing what happens with that. Congratulations to Mark Briscoe. Up next, we have the qualifier match for the women's gauntlet match. You heard that right. They announced it. I want to say yesterday they announced it on social media, or it could have been Monday, I'm not sure. So it's Athena Athena going against Chris Statlander, to go against Thunder Rosa, to go against Willow Nightingale. So for me, I low-key wanted Athena to get it. But then again, I'm looking at Athena, who has her issues with Thunder Rosa that are still playing out in this match. And we have Willow Nightingale and Chris Statlander, who's going to be forever beefing, that have their shit playing out in the match as well. So for me, I wasn't really sure, and probably didn't matter who would end up winning, because all these girls are deserving to me. Now, obviously, shenanigans are going on. Thunder Rosa and Athena had their own thing going on, which I'm pretty sure is to play with them going for the Ring of Honor Women's Championship at, what's the name of that damn show again? Ring of Honor pay-per-view the night before Supercard of Honor. So I believe that's just that they are involved just to get that thing being told between them two. So whatever, that's off to the side, because then here comes Marina Shafir, who comes out. She's a little bit of a distraction. I'm like, okay, Marina about to get her hands dirty and get into this. Not quite, because here comes Wheeler Yuta, who comes in there, who puts his hands on Willow. Willow ends up hitting his ass with a pounce, and that was just as much as what Statlander needed to take advantage of the situation to win with a Wednesday Night Fever. So we got Statlander moving on to take the #1 spot. Let me just say this one thing that I don't understand. When they do the gauntlet match, why do people want the #1 spot? Why do you want to be #1? If you're #1, you're going to be in it the longest. The only thing it does is guarantees that you're in it. And I'd rather like not be #1 if that's the case. But anyway, she ends up winning. And we got things that's going to end up playing out with Thunder Rosa and Athena, at least for the Ring of Honor pay-per-view for the women's title. After this, we do get a recap video on our stepdaddy Nick Wayne going for, I don't know, they're setting their eyes out on getting the tag titles and whatever the fuck they're doing. Honestly, it's kind of weird to me if you ask me. And they're going to be having a match against Big Bill and Brian Keith on Collision. Lovely. I don't know if this is them trying to move forward or move up quickly so that they can go against Hurt Syndicate and All In. If that's the case, Tony Khan, I don't know who's on board with that. I'm not feeling it. After this, we hear from FTR, who just looking for a little bit of TV time, even if it is for a few seconds, just to let us know that they're tired of the Outrunners getting involved in their business and that they're going to take care of them on Collision. Great, lovely. Tomorrow night Collision. Main event, I know it sounds random, but Beast Mortos going against Hangman Adam Page. It does sound random for them to be on a one-on-one situation, but remember, last Wednesday in Mexico, he did replace Claudio Castagnoli. Why? Honestly, don't know. But there's still no beef between the two of them. So why did they end up having a one-on-one match? Honestly, not sure. Beast Mortos on another main event. Lovely for him. The match was okay to me. Beast Mortos really talented, and he is very versatile and can work well with anyone. So in my opinion, the win had to go for Hangman since he's gonna go for the world title. So why should he take a loss? But Beast Mortos being in this still kind of doesn't feel like he's involved with anything Death Riders related, just because he was thrown in a match with them on Wednesday. You guys already know that there's going to be shenanigans, because once the match is over, the lights turn off. And I'm like, okay, well, here comes the Death Riders. What's new? But then it's the Elite. It's the EVPs. They're standing in front of Hangman, and they end up hitting him with an EVP trigger, which didn't surprise me. Then the Death Riders decided to come on out there and do whatever they felt like doing and beating up on our boy Hangman. And it just seemed like forever had passed by before finally someone came out there. William ended up coming out there to help. The Ops ended up coming out there as well. I think the Ops came out first, then William came on out there. And notice no Swerve came on out there, which is very interesting. That shows me that even though Swerve and William are gal pals now, that they're just not on the same page in terms of helping Hangman. And I don't think we'll ever see Swerve get to the point of helping Hangman up until maybe All In, which I hope they don't even end up doing. But that's where we're at this point. So obviously they come on out there and everyone scatters like flies. And Jon Moxley is obviously looking to get his hands on fucking Hangman before the pay-per-view, hopefully making sure that he doesn't make it to All In. Overall, the show was okay to me, but I will say this, that my feelings on how the shows have been going to build up for the pay-per-view is a little different because I'll actually be attending the shows during All In week. For me, I feel like I'm more excited about actually just physically being there than the actual build up for the show. Like if I were to be watching and not going to All In, I think I would feel a lot more disappointed with how things have been playing out going towards the pay-per-view. And I still do kind of feel the same way too, because I wish things was a hell of a lot stronger. Like there was a potential of the build for especially all the titles to be a hell of a lot stronger, and it's just not at that point right now. So right now I'm more excited just about physically being there over than the actual road to the show. I think they'll still end up being a pretty solid pay-per-view, but overall, Tony, I feel like there's this laziness that's just going on in terms of booking what's supposed to be the best show, their biggest show of the year, and I wish that wasn't the case. So hopefully next year they do better when it comes to building and getting people hyped for All In. You guys, thanks so much for watching my review. I'll be back tomorrow with a review and a watch along for Collision. See you guys then.